Hello and welcome to this edition of Express News. I'm Rukma. Let's begin by taking a look at the top stories that are making headlines across India and the world. Restrictions are being phased out gradually in Jammu and Kashmir. Over 190 primary schools reopened in Srinagar this morning, while in Jammu region all schools functioning normally amidst a peaceful environment. Jammu and Kashmir government spokesperson Rohit Kansal says restrictions have been relaxed in 35 police stations of Kashmir, while 17 telephone exchanges out of 96 have been made functional. Rohit Kansal says government will try to restore landline communication services as soon as possible in the valley. Says duration of relaxation has also increased from 6 hours to 8, keeping in view response and requests by traders. Union Minister Jitendra Singh says, as Parliament has unanimously agreed, let us free Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and merge it with India. Let us pray to the Almighty that we get the chance to see this in our lifetime. Heavy rain slash Himachal Pradesh toll rises to 25 on Monday, with 3 more people losing their lives. All educational institutions in Shimla and Kulu closed. Light to moderate rainfall will occur at many places, with heavy rains expected at isolated places in the state over the next 24 hours after Tuesday morning, according to Shimla Met Department. Gates of Pandor and Nathpa Jhakri dams in Himachal opened as water level in Bias and Sutlej very high. People have been requested to stay away from rivers, rivulets and streams to avoid any untoward incident. Heavy rains and landslides disrupt normal life in Uttarakhand. At least 10 dead in cloudbursts in Mori block of Uttarkashi district. Water, electricity and communication facilities badly hit. NDRF, SDRF, ITBP and district administration engaged in rescue operations in Mori block in Uttarkashi of Uttarakhand. 2 persons rescued and shifted to emergency wing at Doon Hospital. Schools in 12 districts of Uttarakhand closed. Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat directs all district magistrates to stay alert in view of heavy rain prediction. With incessant rains continuing in the Himalayan range, the brunt of increased water level is laid on the plains. Water levels have been rising in the Yamuna and Ganga in Prayagraj. Various other districts in the state also suffering from increased water levels. Heavy rains continue unabated in Haryana and Punjab, causing floods in some parts. High alert sounded in the 2 states. NDRF and SDRF called in Jalandhar district to assist administration and rescue people from inundated villages along the Sutlej river. In national capital Delhi, due to rising water levels of Yamuna, vehicular movement on Loha Pull over the river has been stopped. Water level has reached 205 meters. In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 people were stuck near an under-construction bridge in Jammu after a sudden increase in water levels of the Tavi. They were rescued by the Indian Air Force. Supreme Court grants 2 more weeks' time to CBI to complete ongoing investigation into road accident in which the Unnao rape survivor and her lawyer sustained critical injuries. Supreme Court rejects CBI's demand to provide probe agency 4 weeks for investigation into accident of Unnao rape victim. Bench directs UP government to pay 5 lakh rupees to the lawyer who is in a critical condition. Supreme Court dismisses plea filed by Tehelka magazine founder Tarun Tejpal seeking quashing of charges framed against him in alleged sexual assault case lodged by a former woman colleague. Tejpal is alleged to have sexually assaulted a former woman colleague inside the elevator of a 5-star hotel in Goa in 2013. Supreme Court defers for Tuesday a plea filed by Facebook for transfer to Supreme Court petitions pending in different high courts across the country, demanding to interlink Aadhaar database with social media profiles for authentication of identity. Supreme Court lawyer Alakh Alok Srivastav files criminal complaint against Sheila Rashid, seeking her arrest for allegedly spreading fake news against Indian Army and Government of India. Ministry of External Affairs briefs media about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's upcoming bilateral visit to 3 nations. MEA Secretary T.S. Trimurthy says Prime Minister will be on a bilateral visit to France, UAE and Bahrain, will also attend G7 summit in France's Biarritz, which will be held between 24th to 26th of August. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu addresses India-Lithuania Business Forum in Vilnius, says India's growing market offers immense business opportunities. Naidu also invites business delegations from Lithuania to participate in India-Europe 29 Business Forum. Health condition of former Union Minister Arun Jaitley continues to be critical but remains stable. He is admitted in AIIMS in New Delhi since the 9th of this month after he complained of breathlessness and restlessness. Several Union ministers visit AIIMS to inquire about his health. Former Bihar Chief Minister Jagannath Mishra passes away after prolonged illness at the age of 82. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar expresses grief on the passing away of Mishra and declares a 3-day state mourning. In the state, the former CM will be cremated with state honours. At least 15 killed and 35 injured after container truck collides with state transport bus in Maharashtra's Dhule district. Accident took place around 10:30 p.m. on Sunday when a container truck collided with a state transport bus coming from the opposite direction. Equity benchmarks Sensex and Nifty on Monday rose for a third straight session after rallying 369 points during the day, tracking positive global cues. 30-share Sensex settles 52.16 points or 0.14% higher at 37,402.49. NSE Nifty 2 edges 6.10 points or 0.06% up at 11,053.90 during the day. It swung between a high of 11,146.90 and low of 11,037.85. Rupee depreciated by 29 paise to 71.43 against the US dollar on Monday. Brent crude futures global oil benchmark rose 0.56% to $58.97 per barrel. Gold prices on Monday declined by rupees 100 to 38,570 per 10 grams in the national capital, tracking weak trends overseas and lackluster demand from jewelers, according to the All India Sarafa Association. Silver prices eased 311 rupees to 43,513 rupees per kg in futures trade as speculators cut positions amid weak trends in the spot market. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates eco-friendly flats for Lok Sabha members. Lok Sabha Speaker and other dignitaries attend the event. Task force headed by Akhilesh Ranjan, member of Central Board of Direct Taxes, submits Direct Tax Code report to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today. New Direct Tax Code will replace the existing Income Tax Act of 1961. Participating in FICCI IBA banking seminar, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das says economic growth is the need of the hour and financial stability is important to sustain growth in the long run. RBI Governor says weaker than expected growth with signs of slowdown is a key risk to global financial stability, though banks are more resilient to shocks. Finance Ministry asks insurance companies to expedite claim settlement process for policyholders affected by floods in different states including Karnataka, Maharashtra and Kerala. Ministry has asked insurers to clear claims under various policies including Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana and Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana quickly. Chief Minister of Maharashtra Devendra Fadnavis says he will request Nirmala Sitharaman for extension in due date for filing income tax and GST returns. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority in communication to life insurers says as a result of heavy rains and floods, reports of loss of human lives and loss of belongings in many states, insurers have been told to ensure that all claims are surveyed immediately and claim payments are disbursed at the earliest. Participating in FICCI IBA banking seminar, RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das says economic growth is the need of the hour. He adds that financial stability is important to sustain growth in the long run and weaker than expected growth with signs of slowdown is a key risk to global financial stability. Even as he reiterates regulatory resolve to not let any large NBFC fail, Reserve Bank Governor Shaktikanta Das rules out ordering an asset quality review of the systematically important shadow banks for now. State Bank of India says it is contemplating extending benefit of the repo-linked lending rate to existing home loan borrowers while hoped for better traction in consumer demand in second half of the fiscal, expecting government to offer fiscal stimulus. To help the auto sector tide over stress, SBI has extended the credit period of automobile dealers that are facing demand slowdown and inventory build up to 75 days in some cases or 90 days in others. Coffee Day Enterprises Limited says total debt of Coffee Day Group stands at 4,970 crore rupees. And all obligations to lenders will be honoured. Of this amount, 4,796 crore rupees is under secured loans, the rest under unsecured loans. Mahindra & Mahindra Limited expands global footprint with inauguration of local automotive assembly plant near Colombo in Sri Lanka. Plant rolled out its first product, the compact sports utility vehicle KUV 100. Amidst rising trade tensions between the US and China, US banning Huawei, US public companies have had a loss of $435 million in second quarter. US President Donald Trump says he has spoken with Apple's chief executive Tim Cook about impact of US tariffs on Chinese imports as well as competition from South Korean company Samsung. He says Cook made a good case that tariffs could hurt Apple given that Samsung's products would not be subject to them. US President Donald Trump dismisses concerns of recession, offers an optimistic outlook for the economy after last week's steep drop in the financial markets. Islamic State group claims responsibility for a suicide attack on wedding in Kabul, which killed at least 63. The Afghan government has postponed celebrations to commemorate 100th Independence Day of Afghanistan, which was scheduled for today. India strongly condemns horrific bombing at wedding hall in Kabul. External Affairs Ministry also says perpetrators of the heinous terror attack as well as those providing shelter to terrorists must be brought to justice expeditiously. Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay signs order that will end all European Union law applying in Britain from 31st October. Order will repeal 1972 Act and bring European Union Withdrawal Act into force. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has said she would meet British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Wednesday to discuss Britain's planned departure from the EU, adding that Berlin is also prepared for a disorderly Brexit. Minister in charge of coordinating no-deal Brexit planning, Michael Gove, says Britain will experience bumps on the road if it leaves the European Union without a deal, but is more prepared for that outcome than it previously was. French President Emmanuel Macron to seek to persuade his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin to resume peace talks with Ukraine after its new president offered an olive branch. The two leaders will discuss a host of topics, including Ukraine, the Iran nuclear deal and the Syria conflict. US President Donald Trump expresses optimism at the state of talks as Taliban and the United States try to negotiate an agreement on withdrawal of US forces in exchange for a Taliban commitment on security and peace talks with Afghanistan's US-backed government. The Iranian tanker caught in a standoff between Tehran and the West left Gibraltar on Sunday night, hours after the British territory rejected the US request to detain the vessel further because it was bound by EU law. As the Iranian tanker caught in a standoff between Tehran and the West left Gibraltar, US President Donald Trump said Iran would like to talk, attributing willingness to economic conditions in the country. Hundreds of thousands of anti-government protesters returned to the streets of Hong Kong and rallied peacefully, marking the calmest weekend protest. Protesters defied torrential rain, police ban and menacing threats from Chinese government to come back out for the 11th consecutive weekend of mass demonstrations. Hundreds of Chinese students and overseas Chinese in the United Kingdom gathered in London to express their love for China and the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region while rallying against violence and separatist activities. Overseas Chinese also rallied and staged a demonstration in Paris and Toronto, voicing their support for China and Hong Kong, as well as the principle of one country, two systems. US President Donald Trump draws parallels between violent protests in Hong Kong and Beijing's bloody suppression of student-led pro-democracy protests in 1989. He adds that he supports liberty and democracy in Hong Kong and hopes the situation to be resolved in a humanitarian fashion. US President Donald Trump says he would likely wait until after Israel's 17 September elections to release a peace plan for the region that was designed by the White House senior advisor Jared Kushner. US President Donald Trump also mentions that he would keep Vice President Mike Pence as a running mate when he seeks re-election in November 2020. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi appeals for more humanitarian aid for Venezuelan refugees pouring into neighboring countries where they are overwhelming social services and sparking local tensions. Malaysian court postpones for a week biggest of 5 trials linked to multi-billion-dollar scam at a state fund allegedly involving former Prime Minister Najib Razak. Nearly 4,000 people evacuated in Spain's Gran Canaria island due to wildfires that for the second time in a week ravaged the countryside. The fire had taken 2 different directions, burning more than 1,700 hectares of field. In Spain's Gran Canaria island, more than 9 helicopters and 2 planes aiding at least 600 people, including firefighters and army emergency personnel who are working in shifts to tackle the blaze. The island is experiencing temperatures close to 40 degrees Celsius with humidity levels below 30%. Barcelona citizens paid memorial tribute to the victims of terror attack which killed 16 and injured at least 130 people 2 years ago. They called for peace, hoping people with different cultures and faiths could get along well. A charity that operates a rescue ship carrying more than 100 migrants off the coast of Italy said that it could not accept an offer from Spain to dock in Algeciras. The Spanish government had offered Algeciras as a port to disembark migrants after Italy's Interior Minister Salvini refused them entry. Migrants on board the charity rescue attempted to swim ashore after the boat had spent more than 2 weeks waiting for a port to dock. The migrants, most of whom are African, were picked up by open arms boat off the coast of Libya and have been waiting to disembark on the southern Italian island of Lampedusa. Indian skipper Virat Kohli has retained the top spot in the latest ICC Test batsmen's rankings, while Australia's Steve Smith moved to the second position. Kohli has 922 points, whereas Smith has 913 points. Second test between England and Australia ended in a draw at Lord's on Sunday. On day 5, Australia survived with 4 wickets in hand to go into the third test at Headingley, leading the series 1-0. Australian cricketers may be required to wear a neck protection helmet after Steve Smith's second Ashes Test cricket match when Jofra Archer got injured as a bouncer hit the player. Former Australian pace spearhead Mitchell Johnson elected as honorary life member of the Marylebone Cricket Club, custodians of the game's laws. Club made the announcement on Sunday at Lord's during the second Ashes Test between Australia and England, which ended in a draw. Afghanistan's Mohammad Shahzad suspended from playing any form of cricket for 1 year as the wicketkeeper batsman has been suspended by Afghanistan Cricket Board's discipline committee for violating ACB's disciplinary rules. Indian ace athlete Muhammad Anas claims yellow medal in men's category. National record holder Anas has qualified for 400-meter event for the World Championships to be held in Doha in September to October. Top Indian sprinter Hima Das won a gold in 300-meter races at an event in the Czech Republic. Hima won the gold in the women's event. Hima is yet to qualify for the World Championship to be held in Doha in September to October. India's junior women boxers clinched 12 medals, including 4 gold at the Third Nations Cup in Serbia. The team won 4 gold, 4 silver and 4 bronze medals and claimed the runners-up trophy. Ending a 20-year career that saw him win 3 Premier League titles with Arsenal and Chelsea, former England defender Ashley Cole announced his retirement from football yesterday. Neymar has been left out of the Paris Saint-Germain squad for the second week in succession as speculation continues about his future. The 27-year-old, who missed PSG's league opener against Nimes last weekend, has been the subject of bids from Barcelona and Real Madrid. Frank Lampard remains winless as Chelsea head coach after being held to a 1-all draw by Leicester at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's energetic start brought a goal as Wilfred Ndidi's error allowed Mason Mount to tuck home his first goal for Chelsea. Borussia Dortmund came from behind to begin their Bundesliga campaign with a 5-1 win against Augsburg. The visitors took a shock lead in the first minute when Florian Niederlechner poked in from close range. A resilient Daniil Medvedev stunned world number 1 and holder Novak Djokovic in the Cincinnati Masters semi-finals. The 19th-seeded Russian stepped up his game after losing the first set and took the victory 3-6, 6-3, 6-3. Indian wrestlers Pooja Dhanda and Navjot Kaur, who failed to book berths in the World Championship squad for Olympic categories, have made it to the non-Olympic divisions in the absence of competitions in the trials. Indian women's hockey team hold Australia to a 2-all draw in Olympic Test event in Tokyo today. India is ranked 10th in the world, while Australia is world number 2. The Indian women's team will now face China in the third round-robin match of the tournament. And in men's hockey, New Zealand beat India 2-1 in the Olympic Test event in Tokyo. British cyclist Neil Campbell sets the motor pace speed world record after covering a distance of 174.34 miles or 280.57 kilometers per hour. Neil Campbell claimed the title on a custom-built bike. Filmmaker Kevin Smith all set to bring He-Man to Netflix. The Ace director announced that he has paired up with Netflix along with Mattel for the upcoming animated series. Quentin Tarantino's latest flick, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, gains appreciation at the box office worldwide. The film has managed to mint $180.2 million globally. Kartik Aaryan unveils poster of Bhool Bhulaiya 2 on Monday. The film is speculated to release on 31st July 2020. Bhool Bhulaiya was a remake of Malayalam blockbuster Mani Chitrathadu, starring Akshay Kumar and Vidya Balan. After a bumper opening, Akshay Kumar's latest release, Mission Mangal, all set to enter the 100 crore club. The film managed to earn 97 crores 56 lakhs over the weekend. Janhvi Kapoor about to make her digital debut with Zoya Akhtar's short film Ghost Stories on Netflix. The actor took to social media to break the news to her fans and followers. Prabhas, the lead actor of the movie Saho, drops a new poster of his upcoming film. Poster features chemistry between him and leading lady Shraddha Kapoor. As Gulzar turned 85 on Sunday, several Bollywood stars extended their warm birthday wishes to the renowned lyricist poet. Singer-composer Shankar Mahadevan, actor Vicky Kaushal and Ritesh Deshmukh took to social media to express their joy and wishes. Ajay Devgan set to highlight golden years of Indian football with his upcoming film Maidan. The film is directed by Badhai Ho fame Amit Sharma. Ajay shared the film poster on his Twitter handle. First look of legendary actor Amitabh Bachchan from his upcoming film Sera Narasimha Reddy released on Monday. The story is about Uyalavada Narasimha Reddy, who led a revolt against the British. After her directorial success in A Death in the Gunj, Konkana Sen Sharma about to make her digital directorial debut with series based on the life of Aarti Das, better known as Miss Shefali. Holding tricolours, Indian nationals marched through the streets of Ottawa to celebrate India's Independence Day on Sunday. Placards and banners with slogans supporting abrogation of Article 370 were also seen in the parade. French tightrope artist Tatiana Mosio Bongonga stuns spectators in Prague as she walks on a rope 35 meters above the Vltava River to open a circus festival. The festival will run until 1st of September. An Alaska man came across a 50-year-old message in a bottle. The letter in the bottle was washed up on the shores of western Alaska and was written by a Russian Navy soldier while he was on board a ship until 1970. Iceland unveils plug to its Ogdekul ice sea ice sheet, which is the country's first glacier to melt away due to climate change. Ceremony to unveil the plaque was attended by scientists and locals at the glacier in west central Iceland. Groundbreaking guitar rock band Santana headlines the day's lineup of music along with the Doobie Brothers in the annual Woodstock Music Festival. 400 drones equipped with colorful lights rose up to the sky and aligned into different patterns, animations and 3D designs in Liaocheng city in China, leaving thousands watching the drone show in awe. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Express News. We'll be back again tomorrow at the same time with more news and updates on DD India. Stay tuned.